President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden heading up north this afternoon for a long-awaited visit to Canada. That trip, which was delayed in part to COVID, is set to shine a spotlight on strong U.S.-Canada relations following that rocky few years under the Trump administration. Biden and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau are expected to tackle a series of issues facing both countries, among them migration, defense spending, as well as developments in Ukraine. My co-anchor and ABC News senior national correspondent Terry Moran is there in Ottawa. Terry, all right, you know, my husband's Canadian. What can I tell you? You're always searching for the sunshine, but it is the perfect. And I think I might hear some rain too.
Well, a little freezing rain.
What's on the agenda?
So we got the,
yes.
Well, the agenda here, as you say, it's a substantive agenda. They're already, we hear a substantive agreement, but also, as you led off with, this is really an affirmation of the relationship between these two nations and these two leaders. Prime Minister Trudeau, President Biden, they get along. A Canadian business leader told me today that Justin Trudeau looks more relaxed when he's around Joe Biden. Now, Justin Trudeau always looks relaxed to me, but I guess it improves around Biden as well. And this is, by an old tradition, American presidents make their first visit out of the country to Canada. Of course, they couldn't do that when Joe Biden came into office because of COVID, and so it's happening now. But on the substantive side, some big issues, primarily immigration. There has been, the immigration crisis really is in the Western Hemisphere. And the Canadian border has seen a lot of crossings, unlawful, unauthorized crossings, 40,000 from the United States. Prime Minister Trudeau getting pressured on that. We hear there is an agreement between the countries that people who cross without the authority of law are going to be sent back under the Safe Third Country Agreement. In other words, the first country you reach when you are a refugee that is deemed safe, you have to stay there and apply for asylum. If you want to move on, you become a regular migrant. They're strengthening that here. All crossings across the American-Canadian border will now fall under that agreement. That's something that Prime Minister Trudeau wanted because they said he's getting pressured that way. And so there's already a bit of an agreement. But really, you know, it's going to kick off with drinks over at the Prime Minister's residence tonight, this meeting. And that gives you a sense of the flavor here.
Yes, no pun intended. Drinks can lead to interesting negotiations. Well, defense cooperation is also going to feature high on the agenda, right? What are leaders expected to discuss?
Well, there are some major issues, primarily the issue of Haiti. So that country, you know, plagued by bad governance and intervention by third countries, particularly the United States throughout its history, is going through a particularly awful time right now. It's basically being run by gangs. The police force is not equipped to deal with the violence and the terror that people are enduring. The United Nations has called for another nation to come in and establish some kind of peacekeeping force. A few months ago, the Canadians, at the request of the United States, said they would consider it, but Trudeau has now essentially backtracked from that. There is still a desperate need for some order to be restored to Haiti. The United States has done that in the past. It doesn't work, and in fact, Justin Trudeau has said that he doesn't think the situation is there for any kind of cooperative agreement among the Haitians themselves. And so any peacekeeping force that goes to Haiti is going to be caught in the middle of a terrible criminal crossfire, and he's very reluctant to do that. That'll be high on the agenda as well.
And also, Prime Minister Trudeau, now the longest-serving leader in the G7 amid the crisis in Ukraine, right? So what can we expect Biden to say about the two countries' relationship in the face of that ongoing conflict?
Well, there's no question that Canada, under Prime Minister Trudeau, is part of that NATO coalition that has stuck together. And that is really one of the accomplishments of President Biden in his administration, that upon the invasion of Ukraine by Russia, he rallied NATO. A lot of it was behind the scenes. He managed to keep NATO out of the direct fighting and persuade NATO members from Canada all the way to those frontline Baltic states and Poland to provide Ukraine with the means necessary to defend itself and now to launch counteroffensive as well. And Canada's been a part of that, you know, sending tanks over and other equipment to Ukraine. They have a very robust intelligence service as well. And so all of that is going to Ukraine. They are on the same page on that, seeing how this is the critical year in many ways to either break the Russian offensive or see if Ukraine can even go on the offensive itself.
All right. We'll follow it all along with you, Terry. Talk to you tomorrow. Thanks, Terry.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.